Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, some whips, most of the time some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting stuff. This is episode number 9. I am Ellie, your host. I am from Austria and I hope you're all doing really well today. Yesterday, I think everyone in the world received some shocking news. The Queen died. And she was quite old, and I think that just puts everything into perspective, because I did not see that coming, as stupid as this sounds. I knew that she was quite old, and I think she was very fortunate to live that long, but I think this really puts into perspective that not everyone is around forever, really, and that, yeah, I think it just gives it a new perspective on life, at least for me. I'm sorry for this very like philosophical, that's the word, philosophical intro to this podcast, but I just wanted to address that because that's just how I feel at the moment. Anyway, back to knitting stuff and more about some general life stuff later. I do have finished objects. I have 2 in total, which makes me very happy, because that means I have more space on my needles to cast on new things, especially sweaters, which I've already done. But I think we can get into it. Grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever you like, and let's get started. So the first finished object that I have is my Snowbell top right here. This is by Sandnesgarn, the pattern in line, the yarn line, in this really nice aubergine colour with this gorgeous lace pattern. I've already worn this yesterday. I blocked it, I've already worn it, and I do have a few thoughts on this, as much as I love it. If you remember, I had a few troubles with not really the pattern, but that was my fault. I cast on the wrong size. I cast on an M, and then when I was finished with the lace, I was thinking, why do I have too many stitches? And then I had to rip it all back and had to redo it again. But that was fine, because I think the lace chart is really fun to do, and it gives this really nice like leaf pattern. I don't know how well you can see this. Like you have like leaves. I love the yarn. I think it's an amazing yarn for summer. It is Sandnesgarn line. This is a linen, cotton and viscose blend, so very drapey, as you can see here. Very light. I do feel like this garment is rather heavy though. I don't know if that's because of the length or because of the size, but I do feel like it's quite heavy, and because there's not a lot of structure at the top because of the lace, it does stretch out quite a bit. And I've already had troubles with this because I tried blocking it in a way so it wouldn't stretch out even more. But the yoke, if I put it on, get my hair out of the way, it's like up here, and the yoke, like the last lace pattern, ends right here. This is the end of my bra, so it is very deep. I mean, I don't think I have a long torso. I have absolutely no bust, so that also doesn't help with like any garment that I make, because it's always too big for me, because I'm not gifted in the top department, neither in the behind. Anyway, this is a shame, because I basically have my full top half exposed through this lace, which means that I have to always wear some like nude colored bra. I do like it very much. Like I said, it's very drapey and it's not clinging to my body at all. But if I would make this again, which I might do, because I think the sweater pattern or like look would also look really cool, I would definitely not make the sleeves this long, because after the lace you're supposed to work a few rows with the raglan increases. I would definitely reduce that, if not even like completely remove the last lace part, just to shorten it for me, because I like to be covered up and not show everyone my top half. But all in all, I think it was a great pattern. It was very nice to try, and I think it still looks good. Like, I would still recommend this to anyone who would like to start with lace. Very easy instructions, very fun to knit up. So that was my first one. Oh yeah, I also knit an XS, I think. Either XS or S, I can't remember if they have an XS. But the smaller size, and it's still too big for me. But yeah. The second finished object is something that's taken me so long for some reason, and I am very glad it's over and done. It is my previously unnamed t-shirt, now my Bella tee. I have finished it. I have 2 sleeves. You have a 2x2 rib at the top and for the sleeves. It is a raglan, and then at the bottom is where the party is. You have this very nice structure, because I wanted to have like the plain stuff at the top and then the party going on at the bottom. I don't know how well I can see this. I think the camera might pick it up a bit better than in real life. I am very sad because it basically, I already blocked this and it lost all structure and integrity and everything. So it just looks like a bunch of blobs at the bottom, which is not ideal. It might have also been the yarn. I tried a few things with this yarn and nothing really worked. This is Smart by Sandnesgarn as well. It is superwash, and this was supposed to be, if I follow along, like zigzags. You can see them here. But like I said, I'm a bit sad that it just disappeared. It evaporated. But with the fit, I'm quite happy. When I finished it, it was quite cropped on me, so I knew I wanted to stretch it with blocking. I mean, I have to talk about this yarn in a second because that's a whole nother story. But I tried to make it actually smaller whilst I blocked it, and that, with the width, it didn't really do a lot, but the length is a lot better now. Also because I do have this elements down here, I did not want to put another like ribbed edge because I think that would just look a bit strange and just bound off regularly. And I think it looks really good, like down here, without any additional rib. The yarn, like I said, Smart by Sandnesgarn. Oi, 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 I would not go for this yarn again. I would not recommend it to anyone. I do have this in another colour. I have it in green as well. I mean, the colour is fine. It's a very, very vibrant blue, and it looks quite good on as well. Not the typical colour I go for. Like, I go for blue, but not so like in your face. But because it is superwash, it was horrible to work with. Absolutely horrible. It was squishy, like a superwash yarn. I think I do have I do have the rest somewhere. It stretched out a lot when you pulled it apart, and when you let it go it shrunk, and it felt very, very like plasticky and squishy. So it really, like the typical thing you would think about when you hear superwash. So that was already kind of a bit of a bummer, I would say, because I was quite excited to try the yarn and it did not work out that great. Another thing is that with blocking, it was very, very strange because it felt like it would just stretch infinitely. Like, I took this out of where I wash my things in, and just even holding, I mean, it did soften up quite a bit with washing, I do have to say that. I've already, I did a gauge swatch, and I noticed that immediately that it would soften up, which I was very glad about, because it was very stiff, the fabric. So I'm very glad about that. But it, probably because of the way it's intertwined or like spun, it's very bouncy. So when I put it on my blocking mat, I literally could have stretched this forever. It was super holey. It was almost as if the yarn just shrunk in size. Like before, for example, an exaggeration, before it was this big, and after blocking it was this big. So that is a significant thing to watch out for. Again, I would not use this yarn again. I want to use up the rest that I have. I have used, I think, 4 or 5 balls of this, or 5. I think I have a whole another one. I think 5 and a bit. And I have the same amount in a green yarn. I really don't know what to make with it. Maybe I will just use it for some kind of hat, because I think this would look quite cool as a hat. We'll see. I have absolutely no idea. I don't think I would make another garment with this. But yeah, I hope that with some other yarns this texture would look better. I mean, even in the picture it looked not as defined as it could have been. I don't know, maybe it's also just the nature of the stitch, but it literally looks just like blobs, which I'm very sad about, because that took me forever, because it's a very odd repeat. Anyway, this is my second and final finished object. I now have 2 new shirts, should I say, in my wardrobe, which I'm very, very happy about, because I do need new shirts. On to whips. So I cast off 2 things, and of course I had to cast on 2 new things. So I'm still on the same whip count than last time, which is not ideal, because I don't like having that many whips. I get very overwhelmed. But anyway, I know that some of these are long-term whips. The first one, which I am kind of bummed is not finished, I've shown this so many times now, is my Cécile top by Susanne Müller or Paula M. This is what it looks like. I did do some more. I still have quite a lot to go, because I want to use up all of this yarn. This is Balance by BC Garn. Very, very lovely yarn. Highly recommend it. I think it's great to work with. I would use this definitely again. It is a blend of cotton and wool, I think. Yeah, not a lot happened. It's just going in the round. Because the yarn is so thin and you work on 3mm needles, it does take quite a lot of time for me, and you will see in a second, I put a lot of my time in other projects, so this is a bit on the back burner, even though it is a summer top, and I really wanted to finish my last summer top because I am ready for autumn. It is cold outside. Today it was 15 degrees in the morning, which is cold for us when you come down from like 27. And yeah, I don't really know. I normally take this with me when I'm traveling, but because I'm still at home, I don't have uni yet, I'm not really traveling anywhere. I did go to Graz, so I did go to my hometown 2 weeks ago, and I took this with me as well as the Snowbell top, and I worked on it on the train to get some stuff done, which was very nice, but I need variety and I don't know how long this will take me, if I will finish this at all this year or not. I hope so, because I really would like to wear it. Anyway, first whip, not a lot happened here. Second whip, whilst I am talking about, or since I'm talking about things I've not really touched, is my Snug as a Bug sweater. I put it on the back burner. I have not touched it at all because I want to do it properly. I have signed up for a course, like a workshop, which I'm very excited about, and I want to do this workshop first before I go back to the sweater and basically fix like any issues, because I do have a feeling that I have to rip out the whole sweater, which is fine because that is the designing process. Does it hurt me a lot? Yes, it does, because it has a lot of purling, or it involves a lot of purling, and I am not the quickest purl person, so there's a lot of time and effort in it. So I just, it's over there. It's always strange to point at something in the camera. Anyway, so that is that. Then another whip that I've not mentioned last time, but it was on my needles and I've just not done anything. Do you remember when I said that I want to, oh no, I dropped stitches. I want to get rid of my acrylic yarn, but I have this one yarn that says it's 100% wool, but I don't believe it because it doesn't smell like wool, it doesn't feel like wool. Yeah, I've worked on this because I want to get rid of it. So this is the yarn. It is allegedly wool, like I said, don't really believe that. And I am making a tote bag. Really does look horrendous like this because the cable is too short. But what I did from last time is I finished the bottom. Here you have this line, which I am a bit bummed about because this is where I picked up the stitches along the side. So what I started out with, I made a rectangle, and you can't really, like, you can see the side right here, so that's the width of it, and then I went along and picked up the stitches on the sides, so both sides, right here are the corners like this, and then the thing. And I should have made like a pearl ridge on the other side, because now it's got like this really big dent, and on the other side this is where the panel would have stopped, but because I kind of started knitting in the round, it's just one straight fabric piece with nothing in between. But I'm not going back, no thank you. This yarn is unspun yarn, so it's not, oh gosh, it's super slippery. There we go. I do have some stitch holders actually. Sorry, this episode is super chaotic today. I'm a bit all over the place. You will know later why. Right, there we go. So that should help. Yeah. So this is what it looks like. I have a progress marker right here that I made a few months ago, and a stitch marker that I also made a few months ago right here. So this is the beginning of the round, and this is basically to see how much I knit in a day, because I do want to get this done fairly quickly, because not only do I need my needles, but I just want this yarn out of my stash, because I do have quite a lot still. So yeah, that is what's going on with this, and it will go back in my bag. It's been very nice to just have a plain stockinette project where I don't have to do any fancy increases or purling or anything like this. So just mindless, really. So that is good. So this was whip number 3-ish. Let's start with a new thing. a new whip that I cast on literally yesterday, because whenever I know I'm gonna film a podcast episode, the days before I actually film, I'm really just knitting on everything and anything at the time, so I can actually show you something, which is, yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one, but for the rest of the time, like the 10 days in between, like, what's that, 8 of them or something like this, I don't do anything, and then the rest I just knit like crazy. Anyway, something I cast on literally yesterday is the Franky sweater by Sandnesgarn as well. It's in this book. It's this sweater right here. I don't have a lot done yet because, like I said, I cast this on yesterday. The reason why I cast this on is because sorry, got Mohair fluff. The reason why I cast this on yesterday is because I am flying to England on Wednesday, so next Wednesday, and I need a project that is not super big yet or super complicated, so I thought this would be perfect. It is a just standard raglan. The construction is a bit different to what I'm used to, because you start basically with short rows and then you join it at the front. That's why it's so thin right here, and you join, and then at the very end you come back and do the neck, which is not my preferred method because I want to wear my things immediately, and if they don't have a neck yet, like I need to go back and finish it, but I'm like done with it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I make any sense today at all. Anyway, this is Drops Kid Silk Mohair in this grey colour, and this is my rest of my Wollyknit charcoal cone from the Karisma, what was it, Knit Along, or the collaboration she had with Wollyknit or Knits. I never know if there is an S after like names or not. Anyway, I love this colour. You might remember this. I made my, I really can't remember, it's one of my favourite sweaters after all time. I mean, I don't really have that many, but that's why I'm making more. Anyway, charcoal, 100% British wool, absolutely love it, great colour, and I wanted something really dark, so I bought this grey or really dark like mohair, actually a lot lighter on camera than in real life. Anyway, it makes this fabric which is just incredible. This is exactly what I wanted, some like really deep, yeah, that's more like it, a really deep grey / black, like bordering on black. And yeah, I'm gonna take this with me. I wound up the whole cone, so I have it in cakes, and I don't know if I'm gonna take all of the cakes, because I do kind of want to finish it, but at the same time I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, so we'll see. I think because of the quite interesting construction of this sweater, I will knit till Tuesday and see how far I get, because I would have preferred a pattern where I don't need to take the whole book. I mean, I can always take a picture, which I'm probably gonna do, but I would have preferred something that is really just mindless, that has like the same raglan increases, you know, at the same time or in like a consistent manner, which this does not have it. Which is very interesting, but I'm still excited to see what it's gonna look like. But yeah, that is that. Then another new whip is, last time I showed you what I bought, Drops Karisma in this really nice grey colour, colour 44, and I am making my boyfriend a cabled sweater. I have started it also yesterday, it really is not a lot. This is the body part, this is just the ribbing. I'm not even fully done yet with the ribbing, but I wanted to start it because I'll be going for 2 weeks and I wanted to come back to something, and I can start on the cable, so that's why I'm doing the ribbing now. The pattern is Dreams of Aran by Drops itself, and the pattern is going to be very interesting. I've never done cables. I've printed the pattern out as well, so I can mark stuff and know where I am, all of that jazz. I've never done cables before. I am very excited. I think they look incredible, and I want my whole wardrobe to be just cable sweaters or cable knits. And yeah, I have no idea when I'm gonna finish this. Maybe Christmas time. I have absolutely no stress with this. The yarn is 100% wool, and I'm working on the 4mm needle. Oh no, 3.5 for the ribbing, but 4 for the actual thing, I think. Is that right? Yeah, 4mm. And the size I'm making is 13 to 14 years. My boyfriend is not between 13 and 14 years. He is a lot older than that, but his body did not age with his age very well. That is a very nice way of saying he's very skinny and a bit tall as well, so nothing ever fits him. Even like S is way too big on him because he's got such a small waist, that I am hoping that even this will not be too big. I always think you can make stuff too small and then with blocking stretch it out to make it bigger, but you can't reverse it. You can't make something big and then try and make it small. So I'd rather do that and see how it fits, because I mean even that is gonna be huge on him. But we'll see. I'm very excited about this, and when I come back I shall start with my first cabling. So that was another whip, and then the last whip that I have, put this back, is my monstrosity of a blanket. And really I've just been putting all of my energy into this. Like I said, in the last few days I've just been knitting basically like all day long. My wrists do need a break because of the knitting time that I've been putting them through, but I am very happy with the progress I made, because I just want this done. Like, I can't be arsed with it anymore. I need the space on the shelf where I put all of my acrylic yarn on, because this blanket is purely made out of acrylic. Here it is. Now the sun came out. Fantastic. So last time I've just started, or I think I was in the middle of this purple. Ever since then I made all of this, which is very good because that means I've also used up all of these colours. So I made this section. This is the sand stitch. Then I made this really cool section here, and I did cheat a little bit because I did say with every colour I would do a different stitch pattern, but because you can probably only see this really up close, this yarn is different than this yarn. You can see it here because the fluff is also a lot bigger than this, but because the colour is like almost the same, I mean you can't even tell the difference just in the yarn thickness. I was like, I don't have a lot of either of them. Like even this small section that's like 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, what stitch pattern am I gonna make that's actually gonna look like something with 4 rows? So that's what I did. I just put this together, and then with this yarn, this was like a variegated one. I made a sweater out of it. You can check that out on my channel, and that was something. Like, these two yarns took everything out of my wrists. it was not a pleasant experience because they were so thick, and because I'm holding everything double, because most of my yarn is super thin, like this section here, it just took everything of my wrist. I mean, even the cable couldn't hold all of the stitches, like they were super scrunched up. I was actually afraid that something might just snap. It was not fun, so I'm very happy that I'm now on this light pink section here at the cakes. It's really light pink section, because this is going to be a lot nicer on my wrist. And I think those also were the only two really chunky yarns that I had. I would take this chunky blue one any time, any day, over this really thick, these two sections here. But yeah, that is the update on my blanket. I think it looks really good, like this. And then you have, if you've never seen this before, I'm just quickly going to show you. I started out with yellow, went to green, blue, dark blue, and that's where we're at now. It looks huge as well. It definitely feels huge and very weighty. But when I put it on, like, myself to see how far I would, like how far I am along, it was actually not that much. It's maybe half of my body size, which I thought I was a lot closer to like 3/4, and I'm drowning in it already, but no. Which means more knitting. And for this I also have made a sheet of paper. You really cannot see any of this, but I basically wrote down a lot of stitch patterns, which I think would be fun to try, or also would look good. And with the rest of the yarn, I'm gonna try and work through these stitches, because that was another thing that just held me back from this blanket, was that I never knew what to do next. And I think with this structure that I have with the sheet of paper, I can just go through and say, alright, I don't have a lot of this yarn, maybe I choose something that the repeat is only like 4 rows high, or something like this. So that has helped me as well. I will just put this blanket away. So I just put the blanket away and I put down my blinds. I'm sorry that the light changed now. I hope it's gonna be fine, but the sun was kind of annoying me and showed off all of my fluff on top of my hair. Also, I washed my hair just before I started recording, and I'm feeling super cute today because I got my curls back. I reset my hair, and yeah, I think that is one downside with going into winter, is that my hair won't dry as fast anymore, because I try to not use a hairdryer because heat is not very good for your hair. But with the length of my hair, it takes forever to dry. Even overnight, it just won't dry because there's just too much hair on my head. I do need a haircut though. I need to get the ends cut off, so it's all good and healthy again. But yeah, that was all of my knitting. Sadly, I don't have any yarn acquisitions, and this is a first. Ever since I started recording my podcast, I've always had some kind of yarn to show you, but this time I actually don't have anything to show you, because I am, like I said before, going to England, and I am going to buy some Wollyknit cones or yarn. I haven't decided yet. So I tried to save up a little bit of money, so then next time I can show you all of the yarn goodness that I'm gonna bring back. I've also got some vacuum sealed bags, because I heard that traveling with these is a lifesaver, and I will try them for the first time. I'm super excited, and hopefully I can bring so much yarn back that I'm not gonna know what to do with it. I'm joking, but I do have some yarn in mind that I would like to get. Like I said, Wollyknit. I was contemplating going to the mill itself because it's not very far away from where we are staying, but I think it's just easier to order it I mean, we are there for just a little bit under than 2 weeks, so that should be enough time to get it in if the Royal Mail doesn't strike again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, the plan is to get also some hand-dyed yarn, some stuff that I've heard a lot about and I want to try it. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, but that is the plan. I am also very stressed at the moment because for this holiday, it is just before the semester starts. We are going to come back on a Monday, and on Friday I have my first exam, and then on like 3 days later, on Monday or Tuesday again, I have another exam. So that is not a lot of time, and I wanted to relax with my holiday, but that is not going to be the case. I knew that when we booked the holiday, but I really wanted to go somewhere with my boyfriend this year and not just stay here alone all the time. So we will see. That stresses me out a little bit, but at the same time I am just super lazy. I don't know if I am the only one, but I feel like I can't get anything done at the moment, which is really not good because, like I said, my exams are in about 3 weeks and I've not studied at all. Like, I've not looked, well, I have looked at the stuff, but I cannot remember any of it, and that is really not good, and I do feel very, very guilty about it. But at the same time, there is just something in me that tells me I can't sit down and study now, and that is a very, very bad attitude. But on my bachelor thesis, I've worked on a little bit. I sent some stuff to my supervisor. I'm waiting for some feedback, so hopefully I can crack on with that. And yeah, that is uni life. Home life is okay. We've had some updates on the apartment we wanted to take on downstairs. We still don't know if we'll be able to do that because of the rising energy costs. Really hope so, because I would really appreciate some rooms, because this apartment is basically a loft, so no room separation apart from the bathroom, which can be very, very difficult. Let's just put it that way. And what else? Oh yeah, me and my boyfriend, we had our anniversary last week, and if you follow me on Instagram or you stick around on Instagram, you will have seen I posted something in my story. I felt very cute because we went to a restaurant at the weekend to celebrate, which was very, very nice. I really enjoyed that, and just spend some time together. Also, we have ordered quite a lot of solar things because of the energy prices, and all of the things look so good. We bought these fairy lights, and you just need fairy lights in your life. Like, you just need them. Don't question it, you just need them. I've always been a really big fan of them, but I never liked that you had to plug them in and kind of waste energy with them. And my boyfriend found these like a 2-pack, and they're super long. They're on the wire as well, so you can actually make shapes and wrap it around something, and they just look so good at night. So we have it around here, the living room. That's this cable down here, and then it follows along, and then the second one is on our bookshelf in the bedroom area, and it all just looks so good, and it makes me really happy at night. So yeah, that is that, and I don't think I have any more things to say. I'm really sorry this is such a chaotic episode, but I think it just represents my mind very well right now. Oh, I have one more thing. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry guys. last weekend I went on Canva, which is a website where you can design stuff. If you are not familiar with it, great website. I've known about it even before it got really popular. I feel like I'm really good with spotting trends, because whenever I use something and I think, oh, that's gonna be huge in a few years, it is always huge after a few years. Anyway, so I tried designing a few things because I just really liked the things, and the first thing is this. These designs are not mine, because what we can do with Canva is you can change the colors and you can basically use the stuff for free, and you can print it and sell it and stuff like that. So this is the first thing. I found this really cute woman knitting, and then at the bottom I put one stitch at a time. I think it looks so good. And what I did is I bought these t-shirt sticky things, so you can print your design on this special paper and then you iron it on. And I'm just so happy with it. This is going to be a bag, that is why it's all like loosey-goosey. I have a zipper here, but I wasn't super happy about it, so that's why I've not made the bag yet, because I need to go and buy a good zipper. I completely forgot though when I ironed it on that you have to remove any excess of the sheet. So you have, like, you iron the whole thing on, not just the design. And I have now this big square. You can actually see the fold here, the square of where the paper stopped. I don't mind it, but I think next time it would be better if I just cut it out or something. But yeah, this is the first one, super happy. Next time maybe I can show you the full bag. I've already cut out everything I need. I just, like I said, need the zipper. And then the second thing, again, I didn't design this myself, I just changed the text a little bit, is this. It is a drawstring bag with some handles. I found this in just my local craft shop, and then I thought this was just so cute, this design. I put the text, let's have a sweater party, and then you have the sweaters here with a mug and some balloon thing. And in hindsight, I think the colors are a bit off, like they're a bit light. I mean, I know that the fabric is kind of an orangey off-whitey color, and this is pure cotton as far as I know. So I think next time I would make them more vibrant, a bit like this, so it actually pops a bit more. But I'm still super happy about it. This is going to be a new project bag, just like this one, because last time I said that I want and need new project bags, and I thought this was just such a great idea to add a little bit of spice for just a plain bag. So yeah, in here I don't know what I'm gonna put. Maybe I will take this to England with me, because it just looks so good. I was so happy when I made it and I showed it to my boyfriend. Like, look, like every 2 seconds. I think he got a bit annoyed at the end. Whatever. Super happy with this. I have some more designs. I actually did one yesterday, and maybe I can even start selling stuff like this if anyone, you know, is interested. I think they look super cute and really nice. I also started going through my fabric stash, because I do have a lot of like small fabrics, because my grandma used to make quilts, and when I went to hers I kind of raided a little bit her fabric stash. So I have like tiny oddly shaped things. So I'm trying to make some project bags out of this, and also sell these, because there are only so many things that I can have and need. So I would like to share this love for sewing and these bags with some other people, maybe even you if you're interested, and give it away or like sell it, and someone else can be really, really happy about it, because that is the goal, at least for me. But yeah, that is now really everything. I hope you have a good time. I hope you have a good 2 weeks. I don't know when I'm gonna film next. I might film just like in that week when I'm coming back, but I feel like I should film the week after, because I probably won't have a lot to show you, because I'm only taking one project, because I also don't have the space. Like, I want to keep the space for yarn. So I think it's going to be a little while till the next episode is coming out, but thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can also head over to Instagram and follow me there, which would make me really happy. I'm also going to post lots of stuff when I'm in England, so go and check that out if you like, and happy knitting. Bye!